Today we are going to be exploring either radial balance or symmetrical balance on the iPad. We're going to be using the Amaziograph app. So when you open the iPad, look for the icon that looks like this. And when the app opens, you may need to click the gallery button in the left-hand corner to get out of what somebody else is doing. Hit the plus button to start new, and you're going to choose one of the balance options. Like I said, either radial balance or symmetrical balance. For this first example, I chose the two-mirror kaleidoscope, and you'll notice that when I draw in one of those sort of pie-shaped sections, the line drawing is mirrored in all the other sections combined. And you end up with this really cool kaleidoscope image. I drew those first lines with the paintbrush tool. You can see it at the top of the screen. And now I'm switching over to the flood fill tool. It looks like a little paint bucket, and when you click on the circle next to that paint bucket, you can choose the color. If you ever do something that you don't like, on the right-hand side of the top, you'll see a little back arrow, and that's the undo button. So I'm just going to take a second and keep choosing colors and using that flood fill tool until my whole kaleidoscope drawing is filled with beautiful colors. Once I have those background colors filled in, I'm going to go back to the paintbrush tool and use it to add some nice little details. Anytime you want to zoom in, you can use that two-finger pinch motion to get a closer look at what you're doing. And you can also, you see those little dots at the top of the screen, they will change the size of your paintbrush. So when you start to do your detailed work, you might want to choose a smaller line or a larger line depending on what you're doing. When I'm finished, I'm going to use that flood fill tool again to add a background color, and then I need to save my work. I want you to save your work to Google Drive. Up in the right-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see these three little dots. Click the share button once, then click the black share button and scroll over until you find the icon for Drive. Right underneath where it says My Drive, I want you to find the folder for your class. Once you find your folder, click Save Here, and then it's really important that you change the file name to your name. I need to know who each one of these belong to. So change it to your name, and at the end put .jpeg, and then hit Save, and you are good to go. Now really quickly, I want to show you the difference between the radial balance tools and the symmetry tools. So go back to that gallery button, click on symmetry, and you're going to notice a horizontal line across the page. For what I'm doing, I want a vertical line. So that little circle up in the right-hand corner, you can click on Adjust Grid, and you can move that symmetry line anywhere you want it. Then I'm going to go back to my paintbrush and start drawing again. This works really well for things like people and bugs, anything that you can think of that might be symmetrical. You can also just use it to make a design. So like last time, I'm starting with my outlines, then I'm going to switch over to the flood fill tool. I have to be really careful as I'm drawing this that I don't have any gaps, because if your lines don't connect when you click that flood fill tool, it will flood out into the background. So make sure all your lines connect, fill it in with color. Don't forget to go back to the paintbrush later and add some nice little details. They make a really big difference. And at the end, you're gonna need to save it to Google Drive again. So those three little dots in the right-hand corner, make sure you find your class folder, make sure you change the file name to your name, and then you'll be all set.